Om. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अष्टादशोऽध्यायः मोक्षसन्न्यासयोगः। I think we were on page 412 or 411. Kindly guide me. I believe 400 and...
But she said to read from.
I can't hear you, Dr. Mara.
No, sorry. 413. Yeah. Cloud 2020.
Okay.
So we read up to
Um,
this point where 413 restatement of the
413.
contention of the two of Pakshis where we start.
Okay. Okay. So I'll repeat just the model of
Yeah.
karma, the adhyaropan. Okay. The model of karma and the adhyaropa apavada method. By this, the whole model is destroyed. This is called deliberate superimposition and negation. Adhyaropa apavada. You first say that Atma is a doer, karta, and therefore gathers a lot of karma, both punya and papa. He is a samsari and has to reap the result of all these punya papas by taking births in different lokas. Then, at the end of it, you say that in fact, Atma was never born, never did anything, never performed any action, knowing that you are free from all karmas. The fire of knowledge burns all the karma to ashes. Gnanagnaihi bhasmasat kurute. Bhasmasat kurute. Gnanagnaihi. This is possible because they are all standing. Gnanagniha. I think I pronounced it wrong. Gnanagniha bhasmasat kurute. Actually, Gnanagnihi. Gnanagni. Gnanagniha. Bhasmasat Kurute. This is possible because they are all standing in the name of Mr. So and so, the agent Karta, and once the Karta is gone, there is no karma to be accounted for. This is called Adhyaropa Apavada. The model of karma has its own logic and it is believable, but it is only a model and we are not stuck with it. In the end, we dismiss the whole thing, the agency, kartritva is dismissed, and thereby all karma, including the sanchit karma, is gone. All karmas are gone. Even the prarabdha karma is gone because from the standpoint of Atma, there is no prarabdha karma. From the standpoint of the body, there is prarabdha karma. But Atma does not have any body. It is Sat Chit Ananda Brahma and therefore has no karma at any time, neither what was accumulated in past lives, Sanchita karma, nor what was accumulated in this life, Agami karma. It is the very basis, Adhisthana of all karma, not affected by any karma at any time. Even doing actions, Atma does not perform any action. Kurvanapi na karoti. Hearing, it does not hear. Shrunvanapi na shrunoti. Seeing, it does not see. Pashyanapi na pashyati. Atma sees everything, but can be seen by no one. This is the nature of the Atma. It performs no action, and knowing that is the only way to get rid of karma. So once the Atmagnan happens, then there is no account of neither Sanchita karma, no Prarabdha karma, because Atma is the Adhisthana for all the karmas. In its presence, everything happens, but it is not affected by any situation, any event, or anybody. So
And
Kurvanapi,
also the agami karma too. This.
yes, even Agami karma. But once that when you know that you are not the body, it is only by negating. When that body consciousness is there, till then there will be this effect of all Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, Agami karma. But when you negate, so though it is about the
And yesterday, remember, I mean, of course, Jivan Mukta, so he doesn't have, he's not doing any karma that
Hmm.
by Atma point of view, but he has the body. So he just
Yeah.
had to go through this life with that
Hmm.
body, but he's still Jivan Mukta.
Correct. He is a
Yeah.
Jnani and that is why Jivan Mukta.
Yeah.
He's free from the karma bandhana.
Karma. Yeah.
Although he is
Sanchita
doing the
karma.
karma,
Yeah.
although he is doing the karma, but it appears as though he is doing, but he is not doing.
Yeah.
It is just like the screen on which the whole film is getting projected, but it is not affected. The scene of tragedy, the scene of joy, the scene of all scenes are projected, but it is not affected at all.
And he, at least in this chapter, it's mentioned that neither what was accumulated in past life, Sanchita karma, nor what was accumulated in this life, Agami karma. So everything get burnt by the knowledge. But when
Yes,
we read
very
in the
important.
Atma Bodh, it's a little bit different. Agami karma is getting distributed to people who uh, praise him, all the good things go to them, and if uh, they not uh, talk about nicely, then that person takes the papa of the future of Agami karma. That's what we read in the previous in Atmabodh or Tattvabodh, somewhere we read that. Anyway, we'll take what is given here right now.
Yeah, that was very beautiful. We can have in Manana about that Atma Bodh and Agami Karma. I believe we can have some restatement of the contention of the Purva Pakshi. Again, the Purva Pakshi restatement. No phala is told in the Shruti for Nitya Karmas. They are the result of previous papa. They are also ordained for the sake of livelihood. Shankara now restates here what was said by the Purva Mimamsaka, the Karmatha with reference to the Nitya Karmas. The Purva Mimamsaka says that there is no phala mentioned in the Veda for Nitya Karma, Ashrutatvat, Ashrutatvat. Because there is a lot of effort and pain involved in doing the Nitya Karmas, they are the result of fructification of the previous Papa, and apart from their own essential nature of being the difficult karmas to be performed, they have no other phala. And also, they are ordained by the Veda for the different varnas as karmas that can be performed for livelihood. Jivanadi nimitte cha vidhanat. It is said in the Veda that one has to perform certain rituals every day. Those are called Nitya Karmas. For instance, it is said that the following karmas are considered to be the Nitya Karmas for a Brahmana. I think this we have read before, no?
You were on 413. We said we'll go to 412 and then continue reading.
Okay. So I'm reading correctly. Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
reading 413. I thought because this same thing had come before also. No problem. Yeah. It is maybe Bhagwan is, I mean, Swamiji is putting it as a reaffirmation. Yeah. So this is, I'm reading about the Purva Pakshi, Purva Mimamsaka. It is said in the Veda that one has to perform certain rituals every day. Those are called Nitya Karmas. For instance, it is said that the following karmas are considered to be the Nitya Karmas for a Brahmana. They are Yajna and Yajana Adhyayana. Yajana Adhyayana. Yajana Adhyayana. And Adhyapana, Dana and Pratigraha. I repeat, they are Yajna and Yajana, Adhyayana and Adhyapana, Dana and Pratigraha. Yajna is performing rituals like Agnihotra, etc., or its modern day equivalents like Sandhya Vandana and other forms of worship daily. I repeat, Yajna is performing rituals like Agnihotra, etc., or its modern day equivalents like Sandhya Vandana and other forms of worship daily. Yajana is making someone else do the rituals, that is officiating in a ritual performed by someone else. Adhyayana is studying his own shakha of the Veda completely along with its subsidiaries, and Adhyapana is teaching the Veda every day. Dana is giving away in charity whatever he has in excess of what he needs for his simple life. He is expected to share whatever he has and not hoard things. This is the value of aparigraha. Pratigraha is receiving money and other wealth from kings, etc., as dakshina or gifts. Now, because dana is also a vihita karma and aparigraha is value, usually whenever a large wealth is available to a brahmana, he will perform a large yagna and distribute the wealth as dakshina. These are the three pairs of nitya karmas mentioned for a brahmana. Similarly, there are certain duties that are mentioned for all the castes, varnas. In general, we can say that certain duties are to be performed and some of them are prayers or are in the form of rituals. These are called nitya karmas. Then on certain occasions, there are certain karmas, rituals that are to be performed and they are called naimittika karmas. Both are enjoined by the Veda. While enjoining these karmas, the Veda does not mention any particular result for them. Generally, for every ritual, a particular result is mentioned. The one who wants heaven must perform a particular ritual for that. Swarga kamah jyotistomena yajeta. I hope I am reading correct. Or the one who wants a son should perform a putra kameshti ritual. But when it comes to the nitya naimittika karmas, the Veda does not mention any result at all. From that, the Purva Mimamsaka extrapolates his stand. Since the result is not mentioned for nitya karmas, they do not produce any result. Then why should anyone do them? They are enjoined by the Veda and therefore they have got to be performed. Now, anything that you have got to do that is mandated implies pain. That is why people are lazy. Getting up and doing things is not easy. Here, every day, the Brahmana has to get up early in the morning before the sun rises, which itself is a problem, and then has to do the karma, which takes about an hour. Therefore, there is pain involved because effort is involved. This is an ingenious presumption made just because the Veda does not mention the result for the Nitya karmas. Even though these arguments do not have any immediate bearing on our lives, it is nice to know exactly the thinking involved because in the process we develop a discipline of thinking. Since the Veda does not mention any result and at the same time enjoins these karmas, They must have an unknown result. If you are doing it and there is no result, accept the pain of doing. That pain itself must be a kind of a payment. Some past sin is paid off by this kind of karma. An intelligent man, whenever he goes through a painful experience, accepts it happily because some papa is exhausted. Here, the results of the Nitya karma, being in the form of pain, are the result of the papa one did before. This is not what the Shastra really says. It is an argument of an opponent. So the Purva Mimamsakas have extrapolated the whole understanding just because it is not supported by Shastra, that what are the results of Nitya Naimittika karma. We analyze these different points of view just to understand what the Shastra is saying. Just as boxers have a sparring partner, similarly here we have an opponent just to sharpen our understanding. His view is that since this Nitya Karma is in the form of pain, it is the result of whatever Papa was done before. Now you are experiencing the pain of it. But these Nitya Karmas have no result other than what is experienced in doing them. That is, they have no unseen result, adrishta phala. We are not talking about the visible result, drishta phala, but the unseen punya that may occur from doing a karma enjoined by the Veda. According to him, there is no punya for a nitya karma because the result is not mentioned by the Shruti. Further, there is another reason why there is no other result. These are things that are to be done just to live your life, like breathing. There is no particular result for that except living. If you ask me, what do you accomplish by breathing? What will I say? I will say, just to live, to have my life, I must breathe. There is no result except living. When I do not breathe, I do not live. Breathing does not have a special result. A discipline of breathing, like pranayam, can result in a cerebral hemorrhage or tranquility, depending on how you do it. But simple breathing does not have any result in life. Living implies breathing. Similarly, Nitya Karma is something that is implied in living. One has got to do it, and there is no way of escaping it because it is enjoined by the Shruti. Those who have Shraddha in the Shruti are supposed to perform these karmas. They are necessarily done because the person is alive. Thus, the Purva Mimamsaka says that the Nitya karmas do not have any phala. They are the result of the previous papa, and also they have been ordained as the karma one has to do to just keep the life going according to his varna and ashrama. This is his argument. So the Purva Mimamsaka, they are like the boxing partner who are sharpening our understanding. They are having the argument that you perform Nitya Karma because you must have incurred some papa in the past birth. So you are doing your nitya karma and and you are experiencing the pain even in doing them. Please remember, these are the contentions of the Purva Mimamsakas. Yeah, if you want me to repeat or read anything, just let me know. The Sanchita karma that are yet to fructify cannot give you result in this Janma. Further, all papas cannot give the same type of pain. Now the counter argument comes. No, this is not true. Why? Shankara gives two reasons. If the pain that is involved in doing these nitya karmas is the result of the wrong things done before, it is the result which has come to fructify. Therefore, accepting that it is a result, the maximum it can be is a result of the prarabdha karma. It is not the result of a karma that has not yet begun. Anarabdha karma phala. Otherwise, there would be no difference between prarabdha karma and sanchita karma. It is not right to say that the karma phalas that have not begun to fructify at the time of death in the life in which they were done would begin to fructify in a life which is due to the fructification of some other set of prarabdha karma. We have seen before that there is a type of karma called sanchita, which is like a term deposit that has been accumulated and is standing in an account. Its results have not yet begun to fructify, and thus they are called anarabdha karma phalas. All the karmas cannot fructify in one particular incarnation. There is only one set of karmas that can be fulfilled in this particular life with this parentage, with this childhood, and so on. Those karmas which are in the process of getting unfolded, we call arabdha karmas or prarabdha karmas. Accepting that the pain involved in nitya karma exhausts papa. It cannot be the papa that has not yet manifested. Wow, such a beautiful argument by Sri Shankaracharya ji.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah, sure. The Sanchita karma that are yet to fructify cannot give you result in this Janma. Further, all papas cannot give the same type of pain. Now the counter argument comes, no, this is not true. Why? Shankara gives two reasons. If the pain that is involved in doing these nitya karmas is the result of the wrong things done before, it is a result which has come to fructify. Therefore, accepting that it is a result, the maximum it can be is a result of the prarabdha karma. It is not the result of a karma that has not yet begun. Anarabdha karma phala. Otherwise, there would be no difference between prarabdha karma and sanchita karma. It is not right to say that the karma phalas that have not begun to fructify at the time of death in the life in which they were done would begin to fructify in a life which is due to the fructification of some other set of prarabdha karma. We have seen before that there is a type of karma called sanchita, which is like a term deposit that has been accumulated and is standing in an account. Its results have not yet begun to fructify, and thus they are called anarabdha karma phalas. All the karmas cannot fructify in one particular incarnation. There is only one set of karmas that can be fulfilled in this particular life with this parentage, with this childhood, and so on. Those karmas which are in the process of getting unfolded, we call arabdha karmas or prarabdha karmas. Accepting that the pain involved in nitya karma exhausts papa. It cannot be the papa that has not yet manifested. This is the takeaway sentence. When you do perform nitya karmas, it will exhaust papa. Not that because of papa you experience pain while doing nitya karma. Secondly, in nitya karma, you have one type of effort, one type of pain. If that is the pain of all the papas, they must also be of only one type. But there are papas of many different natures. What about them? Every painful experience is a result of the old papa adurita. If you say that the pain involved in the performance of the nitya karma is the result of old papas, what about the pain involved in disease and various other problems that you face every day? There are many different types of pain. Suddenly, the stock goes down. The pain in this has nothing to do with the pain that is involved in the daily ritual, etc. Then again, the tenant says he will not leave the house when the landlord wants to occupy it. Why does he get this kind of a tenant? There can be a better tenant who will leave, but this fellow will not. Why? There is some papa. We have varieties of papa. The results are not always the same. Therefore, if you say that all the papas are exhausted by the pain of doing nitya karma, how do you explain the other types of pain that you have? It would be wonderful if we only had the type of pain involved in doing nitya karma. I will happily do this nitya karma if I wouldn't have any other pain at all. Shankara now takes up the issue of the pain experienced in doing the nitya karma being the result of faults incurred in a previous birth. It was said that the result of the papas is the pain which is involved in performing the daily rites, the nitya karmas. That is not tenable. Look at this. Here is a person who has lived his life performing all the daily karmas like Agnihotra and also some actions which are capable of producing pain. He has done some punya karma and some papa karma. At the time of death, what are the karmas that will give him the next birth? Not all of them. Only certain karmas will give a certain birth. For instance, the Agnihotra and other good karmas that he did will give him entry to heaven and a body appropriate for that. Now suppose he has that body, a Deva Sharira. What about the Papa karmas that he had done? They cannot be experienced in the same body. In one incarnation, the karmas that have not yet begun to fructify, the anarabdha karmas, which are standing in his account, cannot be enjoyed. They can only be enjoyed in another birth. One set of karmas orders only a given physical body. His papas will not fructify in the birth that gives him the body of a deva, because that body is meant only for pleasure, no, not pain. Therefore, the papas will have to remain suspended. They have to wait for their chance to express. It is not reasonable, Shankara says, that the result of a karma that has not yet begun to manifest would be experienced in a birth that has begun because of another set of karmas. Otherwise, what will happen? Suppose a person has faithfully performed his duties like Agnihotra, and because of which he gets a birth for the experience of heavenly enjoyment. The karmas he did were supposed to give him pure pleasure, and therefore he has come to heaven. The old papas that he has gathered should not come along with him. If all the papas also get exhausted there in the form of pain, where is heaven, Swarga? Where is hell, Naraka? That will not work even for the Purva Mimamsaka, because according to him also in Swarga there is no result of Papa Karma, Durita Phala. But if his proposition is correct, it will not be impossible to experience the results of Papa Karma that makes him gain the experience of hell in a birth that results from karma like Agnihotra, which produces the results of heaven. But this is not possible. It is not possible to experience both heaven and hell at the same time. Therefore, when a given set of karmas come to fructify, they alone will get exhausted in that given birth, and not all the unmanifest karmas, the other karmas that cannot be expressed in that situation, will have to wait for another occasion, another birth. Look at the consistency of Shankara's argument here. Whether he's considering a Jaina, a Buddha, or a Sankhya, a Vaisheshika, or a Nayayika, Shankara analyzes his entire vision consistently and answers it at every level. At one level, he dismisses it all as mithya very forgivingly. But within the model of karma itself, if there is some mistake, that has to be pointed out. Wherever there is policy, Shankara argues with intellectual enthusiasm. You can see that here. Repeatedly, he argues this issue, and every argument is important. There are many different types of pain and many different means of producing them. If they are all thought to be purely the results experienced in the practice of Nitya Karmas, then what about other types of pain? There are the opposites like success and failure. That is pain. In the morning you are okay, and in the evening you are not. Yesterday was wonderful, but today is not as great, and tomorrow you may be miserable. There are daily ups and downs. Then there is the affliction of disease, etc. All these will have no cause at all. If all the papas get exhausted in the pain that is involved in performing the Nitya Karmas, it is not reasonable to say that they have no cause. Nor is it possible to imagine that only the pain experienced in the practice of the Nitya Karmas is the result of some previously done wrong action and not the pain of carrying stones on one's head, for example. That is hard labor. Every day a person cuts the stones and carries them on his head like a donkey. There is a lot of pain involved, and he does not want to do the job, but he has to do it. That pain, we can say, is born of some papa, either in this life or in the previous life. How can you say that only the pain of Nitya Karma is the result of a past papa and not these other forms of pain? Thus, we can see that the Purva Mimamsaka's argument is not valid at all. Therefore, Shankara says you are saying something unconnected even to your own contention here by saying the pain involved in the doing of the Nitya Karmas is the result of the Papa accumulated in the previous Janmas. And then Shankara goes on to explain that. He says what is accepted by everyone is that there can be no neutralization of karma phala that has not begun to fructify. That being so, what you are talking about is the exhaustion of those karma phala that have begun to fructify in this janma. That means you have to accept that all the pain that one experiences in life is due to those papa that have begun to fructify. Then it is not right to say the pain of doing the nitya karmas alone are the result of the papa accumulated in the previous janmas. There are many more types of pains experienced by one in any one life. And also then the Veda would not have the need to enjoin Nitya Karmas because they would be helplessly enjoyed by someone as the result of previous Papa. Later Shankara talks about this further. We shall see that later. Should we do the Manana or I continue reading? Please let me know.
Can someone summarize?
Yeah, this is just the argument of Sri Shankara for the Purva Mimamsakas who say that you are doing Nitya Karma with pain just because you have incurred some papa in the past birth. But Shankara is beautifully arguing that there are so many different types of pains, pain through disease, pain through so many situations. It is not the same pain what you experience while doing the Nitya Karmas. So, when you are doing Nitya Karmas, you are doing, you are destroying the papas or the which are done unconsciously or consciously. That I think as the further he explains, it will come.
Okay, thank you.
And he says that Punya and Papa, there is no mix. If you have a life, there will be mix, but only heaven. If he has gone to heaven, means it is only Punya. For again to consume that Papa, he has to take one more birth.
Yeah, that clarity
In the
was
same
something
in
new,
the same birth,
something new.
the
Cannot exhaust the papas.
papas and also punya, again punya also. That is something very, very
Yeah, that was a new understanding. Like if
thing.
he is
Yes.
performing new Agnihotra and other, and through as a result of that, if he is gaining the Swarga, then in that Daivik body, he will not have any pain to experience. For that, he has to take another birth. That is what is my understanding. So he has to take, once his punya is exhausted, he again comes back to the Sharira, which will experience the pain.
Hariom, I have one question here. Like I was just wondering, like how it's fine that you have to exhaust your punya papa, but what would be the sequence like? Is it that the papa would be exhausted and then only you will the punya would fructify, or is it like it, because once you have that Devic body, I don't think so. Next birth, you would be born with the Asur gun, and the Papa would be fructified, or like some clarity should be there. Like,
No, it can happen. It can happen also.
I
Therefore, it
was
is.
I was
it-
thinking while doing that Nitya Karma, he has experienced some pain or something, but still, because of that Nitya Karma, he is gaining the punya, and because of that punya, he is getting the heaven or good things. But he has not exhausted his Papa Karma, still, means whatever he is uh, like a bank, he is depositing, that is he getting. But what negative for papas, what he has done in previous lives, that was that are not exhausted in the same life. So even if he get the heaven, it will continue, but up till what time we don't know. Or but
Karmana,
when Papa karmas
Gahana
will start from
Karmana.
him, because of the Maya, again he has to go to that um
They say
Papa
no, Karmana's
field.
depth cannot be,
That
you
is
know,
Guhyatam.
Gahana. Yes, yes. And it can be exhausted only by knowledge.
Correct. Only knowledge.
Knowledge only can help it. Otherwise, we'll be in just
But
grinding,
as a
grinding,
duty, we have to
chakti
do
piecing,
uh,
chakti piecing.
Nitya karmas and all, whatever is there.
Not nitya karmas, even the pain and pleasure, what we
Right.
get it,
Some,
yes.
hmm.
Yeah. Limbs will be gone, many things, you know. Those are all because of the papa. So he will be carrying the stones like a donkey.
I am remembering that song. पाप क्या पुण्य क्या तू सबको भुला दे फल की It's a nice song. Anybody knows that? पाप क्या पुण्य क्या
Jai Gurudev. He
No, I
says
am
even
hearing for the first time.
Jai Gurudev, he says even the tenant not vacating is also being sort of
Yeah. Yeah. And you give loan, you know, as a for a friend, you help him, but he will not return the money. It is your karma that he is not returning his money, and he is gaining the papa by not giving the money also. That also is possible. So many. You cannot judge the depth of the karma. You know, that is a gahana karma. That verse is there, no?
we might have troubled him, in past Janma. So
Yeah, that is what. That is what.
Yeah.
So accept the thing, whatever it is. Why he should do? Why? Question should not be asked.
in whatever the page is showing here, 1, 2, 3 in the end lines, Shankar Bhasya. Can someone explain that one line also? अन्यथा स्वर्ग फलोपभोगाय अग्निहोत्रादि कर्मा रब्धे जन्मनि नरक कर्म फलो उपभोगानु उपपत्तति. Can someone this means explain that
Yeah.
three lines? Yeah.
No explanation. अन्यथा स्वर्ग फलोपभोगाय अग्निहोत्रादि कर्मारभते जन्मनि नरक कर्म फलोपभोगानुपपत्ति न स्यात्. Means once you get daivik body, because of the agnihotra you have done as a nitya karma, then you get that daivik body and swarga, where you don't have to experience the pain.
Okay.
Naraka karma phalopabhoganu papattihi.
And one more point I got it is, in the modern age, that Naimitta karma, what we do,
Mobile
Sandhya
karma.
Vandana, is similar to the Agnihotra. That I got it. He says, no, Shankara says that. Or Guruji, that he says, in the modern days, it is equivalent to Agnihotra is the Sandhya Vandana.
And Belaji, what is the second and third? Tasya durita dukkha vishesha falatva anupapattate cha.
I think Brahmaraji will be the best person, because here also in the first what I read, Naraka karma phalopa bhogan na upapattihi. Na bhogan
He doesn't
upapattihi
need.
na.
Upapatti means you experience.
No, but it is no.
Means
Na
He
syat.
Anatha.
doesn't have to.
Means he doesn't experience the pain.
Experience.
And second,
Tasya durita dukkha vishesha phalatva anupapattehe. So he has to take another birth, I think.
But to take this durita dukkha vishesha.
Palatva, okay. And third,
Brahmaraji can correct, because Sanskrit is a beautiful language, but it has.
We have to study it. No, we were not studied. That is only the problem. We are studied, but very, very.
Duriteshu
Sambhav.
संभवत्सु भिन्न दुःख साधन फलेषु नित्य कर्म अनुष्ठान आयास दुःख मात्र फलेषु कल्प्यमानेषु द्वंद्व रोगादिबाधा निमित्तं नहि शक्यते कल्पयितुं नित्य कर्मानुष्ठान आयास दुःखमेव पूर्वकृत दुरित फलं न शीर्षा पाषाण वहनादि दुःखमिति. I think it is like different types of pain. They are not comparable with the pain you experience while doing the nitya karmas.
I don't know what is the pain while doing the nitya. Means we have to get up early. That is a pain? I don't think. Nitya karma, we don't feel the pain. Only we may sacrifice some comfort, but not pain. While doing
For some
nitya
people, it is
for that also,
and also you have to do it with you have to do it like patiently.
Voice is not clear, Naraji.
Oh, sorry. The if you have to do some puja or some like Sandhya Vandana or whatever, it's not something you can do it with like snap of a finger, right? You have to do it in certain way, and those take preparation, and you have to do it
but that
methodically.
is not a pain. Just wait.
I know, but it is pain for people who
Yeah, the lazy
this
people.
in the modern days. It is
They don't
pain.
do it. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we have to be patient, and you rather do something, watching movie without thinking or do like that is easy. This is hard. Like if you have to go to the temple and sit there and watch the Abhishekam and there all that, or you have to chant the mantra 108 times. It takes time, right? You have to do it for an hour or something like that. So that's what they call it as pain.
No, that is Vishesha Puja. But Naitik daily puja
Hmm.
should not be that way. Mm.
It shouldn't be for who is doing it regularly.
Definitely.
If somebody wants to, once you get, it's same thing, like, if you have to eat, somebody eating rice, right, or certain kinds of food, and they come up with some medical issue, right, like
Yeah.
a diabetes, and they cannot eat, you cannot eat sugar or this, that, then it becomes difficult for them. That is also pain. So that's a different kind of pain. You can't drink more water, you cannot eat salt. That, those also type of, and people cannot sleep, that is different problem. And then you don't do exercise and getting the joint pain. All kinds of stuff, right? Like you kind of walking, you want to climb the hill to go to see Lord Muruga, then nowadays, of course, they have a car that people can drive up there. But all those things, what I think they mention it as pain.
It is not, I mean, it's not logical by Purva Mimamsaka that you are doing Nitya Karmas and facing pain because you incurred Papa in the Purva Janma.
That is a really
Yeah, the
very,
argument is
very,
very.
very, I don't know. I can't accept that.
Shankaracharya, Jai Gurudev, Shankara brings in the aspect of Sanchita Karma, and he brings in the aspect of two things, Papa and Punya. Given that your Nitya Karma, in fact, the pain that you're experiencing by doing Nitya Karma, the Purva Mimamsaka has this line of thought that number one, Shastra Shruti does not say Nitya Karma has a result. And therefore, you will not accrue any papa or punya by doing Nitya Karma. That is his contention. And his contention is also that you will, whatever so-called pain that you experience by getting up early in the morning and then doing you're exhausting all your previous papa karma. And then you, without any effort, you live your life because you're doing vihita karma, you're avoiding pratisiddha karma, and then at the end of your life, you'll attain moksha. That is a neat plan that the Purva Mimamsaka has. Now, Shankara, level by level, he negates it, layer by layer. He says, what about Sanchita karma? What about you exhausting papa karma? But what about your punya karma? In order for you to, any action will have its result. Even Nitya karma that you're doing in this life will have its result. So, which means you're accumulating your Sanchita karma, that term deposit that you have is swelling with whatever action you do in this life. So, when are you going to exhaust that? For that, you have to take another janma. So, this janma marana cycle will continue as long as you're doing your karma. That is one argument that Shankara gives. And the second argument is that there are different kinds of papas, different degrees and intensities of papa. How can you say just by doing Nitya Karma, you're exhausting all your papa? And there he brings in the different kinds of pain that we go through. Pain of disease, pain of the tenant not moving out, whatever, different kinds of pain.
So which means the argument that all your papas are exhausted by just doing nitya karma is completely negated. It doesn't hold any logical stand over there. So
Yeah, so beautiful.
So he says, then how would you exhaust your sanchita karma? It is only through self-knowledge that no amount of karma can you do, no amount of karma that you do will get you out of the cycle. And then he gives the example of that daivik body. Because prarabdha karma is what the karma that you're born with, this particular physical body, it takes, and which combination of papa punya, or is it only punya, only papa, we don't know. That is a mystery. So whatever combination of papa punya that you're born with, that body, you will exhaust all of that till the end. And then you take on another body from that sanchita that is already there. So supposing a person who does only nitya karma, he doesn't do any pratisiddha karma, he gains that the punya, and people do the agnihotra, somayaga and all that to gain swargaloka. So he goes to swargaloka, he exhausts all his punya there. But what about the papa that is still there in his sanchita karma? How is that going to get exhausted? So all these arguments are negated layer by layer by Shankara. And he says, it is only through knowledge that you are akarta, you are abhokta. That is the only the way you can burn. Just like how camphor, when you burn camphor, there is no remnant left. If you burn firewood, there is some ash that is left. But when you burn camphor, with the fire of knowledge, camphor just exhausts all your prarabdha karma, gets exhausted in that life. You become a jivan mukta because there is nothing else left. Your sanchita is like a roasted seed. There is no name to that sanchita. So whom will it go to? It just becomes like a roasted seed. But in Tattvabodh we learned, in this life, whatever punya papa karmas a jnani does, the people who praise him, all the punya karma will go. And those people who hurt him or humiliate him, his papa karmas go. Because every action has karma, has a phala to it. So in order to complete that, to explain what happens to the punya papa karmas of a jnani, this is what happens.
So beautifully explained.
I have one question, Brahmaraji. It always said, no, you will get the punya for your 7 generations or something like that. So in such case, means whatever he is incurring as a punya, so his next lifetime, the family will also gain that liberty of his punya. Means silly question, but
Yeah. We are
so
born in a particular family because of our karma only.
Yeah,
So,
there was one
but we
saint
have
was
chosen the
explaining.
family, no? So we have chosen means where to take birth
birth,
according to our karmas. There, that.
karmas. So the
So
family karma also is attached to us, no? Because because of my this karma, I have born to this parent. So that Krishna also says, no, your whatever you do the work, good work here, will not be exhausted. It will be carried forward. So you will be born in such parents, so that you can immediately start the journey towards the moksha from that point only where you are left. So the family's karma also is attached here.
They say even countries also have, some karma.
Yeah, country, everything. Whatever the place. Place means everywhere, no? Country, there, here, time. Everything is space and time. We have created it ourselves.
May I request someone to take over? Mrinalji, are you there? Or Sumaji? Nobody's there, I think. So may I request Dr. Mara to read? I can continue to share. I think we can repeat some paragraphs which are so very important.
Oh, okay. I'll read whatever I can. Which paragraph do you want to repeat?
Yeah, as everyone says, should we read further or?
We can read further.
Okay. Both punya.
Just a
can hear.
minute. Huh? Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was which page I forgot. So I'm sorry. Yeah, here.
We are on page 418 and the second
Yeah.
paragraph. Okay. Both punya and antakarna shuddhi are the results of nitya karma. Now, let us complete the vision here before we proceed. Okay, I'll read this again. Now, let us complete the vision here before we proceed. The nitya karma is not enjoined by the Shastra for neutralizing the effects of wrong deeds done in the past, either in this life or previously. It does produce a result, punya, that can lead you to heaven. But if the same nitya karma is done for antakarna shuddhi, it can neutralize the results of past wrong actions. Why does the Shruti not mention a result? It wants you to do the Nitya Karma for the purification of your mind. For the purification of your mind. It is something like taking a shower. We need not talk about it saying, you should take a daily shower. It is good for you. It is a thing to be done. Similarly, daily prayer is also a thing to be done. Every day we pick up enough ragadveshas to make it necessary. Daily prayer, etc., takes care of all our hurt and anger and so on. Otherwise, our whole personality develops edges and we are not the same simple person we were when we were young and innocent. When you are born, you are absolutely innocent. Then you keep growing until the body has grown into adulthood and the mind is more and more informed and even highly educated. Then you should be a happy person, a simple, uncomplicated person. But that is not so. We develop a personality. Certain things we cannot stand, certain other things alone we can accept. Then we develop complexes and all kinds of notions. Why? It is all because of lack of antakarna shuddhi. Every day we pick up all kinds of impurities and they have to be taken care of. Otherwise, it is something like rain water hitting the ground. It is clean water until it reaches the ground. It is clean water until it reaches the ground. Before it touches the ground, you can collect it in a vessel and can live on it. It is absolutely clean. Similarly, when a child comes into this world, he or she is clean, absolutely innocent. That is why everybody likes babies, whoever the baby is, whether it is the baby of the ignorant parents from a slum or the baby of a great scientist. It is the same. Both are innocent. The mathematician's baby does not come with calculus inside. Then what happens? The child grows. That is fine. He must grow, but not at the cost of innocence, not at the cost of purity. Very nice. He must grow, but not at the cost of innocence, not at the cost of purity. Originally, there was no scheming, no manipulating, and no complexes. The child was pure and simple and innocent, but then it faces difficult situations, circumstances, and picks up fears, anxieties, and all sorts of problems. What can we do about it? As parents, we should build in them a value for prayer and prayerful attitudes. Then, when the time comes, they can understand what is prayer. And when they pray, they can neutralize all these problems that the mind picks up. That is why, in the 8th or 9th year, the child is initiated into mantra japa. As the child grows, the prayer is understood better, and thereby all the raga dveshas, fears, etc., are neutralized. Just as the body has to be showered daily, the mind also has to be cleaned every day. How nice this sentence is. Just as the body has to be showered daily, the mind also has to be cleaned every day. Daily showering is a thing to be done, and similarly, daily prayer is a thing to be done. Therefore, the Shastra does not mention the result of daily enjoined karmas. See how nicely they explained it. Therefore, the Shastra does not mention the result of daily enjoined karmas. One second. Sorry. Therefore, the Shastra does not mention the result of daily enjoined karmas. That does not mean there is no result. It does produce punya, but it is also meant for neutralizing the duritas. That is why we make the following statement before beginning any ritual or prayer. We say, Mama upata samasta durita shayartam aham idam karishye. What does durita means?
Durita
Durita
means
is Papa.
papa, punya, any pain, we can say.
Oh, any pain. Okay. So we say Mama upata samasta durita shayartam aham idam karishye. I am doing this action for the sake of exhaustion of the results of all my wrong actions. Okay. So that was nicely said in the last two paragraphs. So if anything need to be repeated, let me know.
Can you repeat the last paragraph?
Sure.
Not this, not the
Actually,
other
yeah,
page.
actually, if you can start from the beginning and read.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay. Actually, this is nicely given explanation. And what we called it's a pain, why we should do the daily prayer. That's really neat. Both punya and antakarna shuddhi are the results of nitya karma. Now let us complete the vision here before we proceed. The nitya karma is not enjoined by the Shastra for neutralizing the effects of wrong deeds done in the past. So that is kind of cleared here. The nitya karma is not enjoined by the Shastra for neutralizing the effects of wrong deeds done in the past, either in this life or previously. It does produce a result, punya, that can lead you to heaven. But if the same nitya karma is done for antakarna shuddhi, it can neutralize the result of past wrong actions. Why does the Shruti not mention a result? It wants you to do the nitya karma for the purification of your mind. It is something like taking a shower. We need not talk about it saying, you should take a daily shower. It is good for you. It is a thing to be done. Similarly, daily prayer is also a thing to be done. Every day we pick up enough ragadveshas to make it necessary. Daily prayer, etc., takes care of all our hurt and anger, and so on. Otherwise, our whole personality develops edges, and we are not the same simple person we were when we were young and innocent. When you were born, you are absolutely innocent. Then you keep growing until the body has grown into adulthood and the mind is more and more informed and even highly educated. Then you should be a happy person, a simple, uncomplicated person. But that's not so. We develop a personality, certain things we cannot stand, certain other things alone we can accept. Then we develop complexes and all kinds of notions. Why? Why? It is all because of lack of antakarna shuddhi. Every day we pick up all kinds of impurities. Why? It is all because of lack of antakarna shuddhi. Every day we pick up all kinds of impurities. They have to be taken care of. Otherwise, it is something like rainwater hitting the ground. It is clean water until it reaches the ground. Before it touches the ground, you can collect it in a vessel and can live on it. It is absolutely clean. Similarly, when a child comes into this world, he or she is clean, absolutely innocent. That is why everybody likes babies, whoever the baby is, whether it is a baby of ignorant parent. Are you moving this page? Yeah. Ignorant parents from a slum, or the baby of a of a great scientist. It is the same. Both are innocent. The mathematician's baby does not come with calculus inside. Then what happens? The child grows. That is fine. He must grow, but not at the cost of the innocence, not at the cost of purity. Originally, there was no scheming no manipulating, no complexes. The child was pure and simple and innocent. But then it faces difficult situations, circumstances, and picks up anxieties, anxiety, and all sorts of problems. What can we do about it? As parents, we should build in them a value for prayer and prayerful attitudes. Then, when the time comes, they can understand what is prayer and when they pray. Hmm. Hmm. One second, I need to. I'll start from this paragraph, last one. What can we do about it? As parents, we should build in them a value for prayer and prayerful attitudes. Then, when the time comes, they can understand what is prayer, and when they pray, they can neutralize all these problems that the mind picks up. That is why, in the 8th or 9th year, the child is initiated into mantra japa. As the child grows, the prayer is understood better, and thereby all the ragadveshas, fears, etc., are neutralized. Just as the body has to be showered daily, the mind also has to be cleaned every day. Daily showering is a thing to be done. And similarly, daily prayer is a thing to be done. Therefore, the Shastra does not mention the result of daily enjoined karmas. That does not mean there is no result. It does produce punya, but it is also meant for neutralizing the duritas. That is why we make the following statement before beginning any ritual or prayer. We say, Mama Upata Samasta Durita Shayartam Agamidam Karishye. I am doing this action for the sake of exhaustion of the results of all my wrong actions. So that's about the Punya Antakarna Shuddhi are the results of Nitya Karma. So what Nitya Karma gives us is kind of explained here. Shall I another 5 minutes more? Prayer can remove the obstacles caused by our papas. I can read 2 more paragraphs. That's okay. Some continuity here. Prayer can remove the obstacles caused by our papas. I do not know whether these were gathered by me in this life or in the previous ones, but they are fructifying in the form of pain and in the form of impediments to my pursuits. Every human body is a mishra of punya and papa. That is why we do not win all the time. We do not win all the time, and we need not win. But daily prayer keeps the durita under check. It does not allow new durita to come, and it neutralizes old duritas. Thereby, day to day, my mind is clean and I am ready to face all situations. Because of the prayer, what would cost me my neck, cost me only my crown. because of the prayer, what would cost me my neck or cost me only my crown? This is what happened to Arjuna. When the Nagastra was coming to his neck, Krishna pressed the chariot into the ground so that the astra missed Arjuna's neck and removed only his crown, because Arjuna had surrendered to him. Of course, he did not press it sufficiently so that Nagastra would go above Arjuna's crown, because Krishna also knows that the prayer's efficacy is only that much, only a few inches. What came to his neck went with his crown. That is the result of prayer. we say that in all our languages, right? This one, தலைக்கு வந்தது தலைப்பாகையோட போச்சு, like it like whatever came to your head, it went off with that what do you call that thing on your top of your head? Like a crown. People often say that I prayed but nothing happened. If you had not prayed, you should see what would have happened. In 1962, 8 planets came to Capricorn at the same time. 8 planets never gather like this, and astrologers all over the world predicted that it was not good for the world. They were waiting for something bad to happen. In India, they do not wait. Do you know what they did? They began doing rituals in every village, in every temple, to ward off the malefic effect of this configuration of the planets. So, are you moving the page? I'm reading it from my own stuff. Biology. Yeah. Okay. Configuration of the planet. So many rituals were performed and nothing happened. Afterwards, there was a complaint that so much money had been spent and nothing happened. But we can also say that because these rituals were done, nothing bad had happened. We spent so much money and avoided a calamity. It saved us in India and the whole world. It all depends on your way of looking at your effort. The idea that not doing something will create papa is wrong. Okay. The idea that not doing something will create papa is wrong. If not doing produces the result, why should I do anything? But which non-doing produces which result? Not doing a karma enjoined by the Veda will not produce any result, but by not doing it, I will let the Duritas take over my life, and therefore I will have problems. Doing the Nitya karmas will avoid all those problems. That is why there is an expression like akarane pratyavaya, akarane pratyavaya in the Shastra. But it is not meant as it has been interpreted here by the Purva Mimamsaka. It is meant to keep the mind clean. The body can be showered, but the mind cannot be cleansed by water. Navarina suddhaye antaratma, suddhayate antaratma. What detergent will you use to clean your mind? You cannot open your skull and spray some detergent. The mind is not a hardware, but pure software. Naturally, you have to introduce a program to remove all the bugs. What are the bugs? All our papas in the form of ragadveshas. The daily prayers, nitya karmas, are meant for removing them alone. So again, all our papas in the form of ragadveshas. The daily prayers, nitya karmas, are meant for removing them alone. Shankara is going to talk about this later. So I pass 1 minute of
Yeah.
that.
This is
So,
very
sounds
nice.
good.
It's a very beautiful perspective that Shankara is bringing up.
Yeah.
We will repeat. Shall we repeat what we read today? This last.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Prayer can remove the obstacles caused by our papas, right?
Yeah. So we can do that tomorrow.
I
Sure.
think 418 I will read from both Punya and
Yes.
Antakarana Shakti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One question, Jai Gurudev, I want to know, prayer means, is it meditation or what exactly it is?
Any form. Any form of prayer.
Like puja, I
Mantra
think,
japa, puja,
yeah,
japa, meditation.
chanting,
Nitya
yeah,
karma. Nitya karma.
nitya karma. Like if you choose to, I like Nanaji said, like we do the Gita every day, like that would be nice. I am not doing the reading Gita every day now. I should.
Shall we close here today?
Yeah, thank you.
Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you.
निरुपमनित्यनिरंशकेऽप्यखण्डे मयि चिति सर्वविकल्पनादिशून्ये घटयति जगदीश जीवभेदम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया श्रुतिशतनिगमान्तशोधकानवी अहह धनादिनिदर्शनेन सद्यः कलुषयति चतुष्पदाद्यभिन्ना न घटितघटना पडीयसी माया सुखचिदखण्डविबोधमद्वितीयम् वियदनलादिविनिर्मित्ते नियोज्य भ्रमयति भवसागरे नितान्तम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया अपगतगुणवर्णजातिभेदे सुखचितिविप्रविडार्यहं कृतिं च स्फुटयतु तदारकेहमोहम् त्वघटितघटना पटीयसी माया विपरिहरविभेदमप्यखण्डे विरचय्य बुधानविप्रकामम् भ्रमयति हरिहरविभेदभावान् घटितघटना पडीयसी माया त्वघटितघटना पडीयसी माया